All right, 7th grade, this was a challenging one. We got an irregular shape, and we got to talk about area, and then we got to do a little bit with perimeter, and then there's some finances involved, kind of like the real world. Let's take a look. Monica is mowing a lawn and wants to know how much gas she will need. She knows that 1 gallon of gas can mow 120 square feet of lawn. Below is the lawn she's going to mow. All measurements will be in feet. How many gallons of gas will Monica need in order to mow the entire lawn? Okay, so before we get into this, let's look at the information they gave me. I know that I have 120 square feet for 1 gallon, all right? Notice they gave us square feet. What does that mean? It means there's an area, right? Whenever we have units squared, we're talking area, two-dimensional, okay? So I need to find out the area of this entire shape before I can even answer this question. That's what you needed to pick up on. If they say square feet, all right, we're talking area. Now, when you look at this shape, you're like, you know what? I don't have a formula for that kind of a weird shape. So what I recommend, break it down into shapes you do understand. And I broke it down into 3 shapes. This is how I looked at it. I looked at the top and I said, you know what? You are going to be a triangle. And then I'm going to partner it with 2 rectangles. This breaks it into shapes I know and understand, and I can easily find the area for. So let's take a look at this first one. I have a triangle. I have a skinny rectangle. And then I have a fatter one down here. Does everybody see the 3 shapes that I broke up? Now let's start labeling what we know about them. This first one's easy. It's an 8 by 15. Bam! Skills. Now, the second one. You know it's 7 feet tall. But what about that base? It's not 5, right? So this is where you got to kind of take a step back. You know that from here to here is 15. Which means from here to here is 15, which means the entire length here would be 20. And again, if you're familiar with area, for a rectangle, all you need is length and width. Length and width, all right? Now, if we know this is 20, then that has to be 20, and that just so happens to be the base of our triangle. This is where you got to be careful, all right? The entire side here is 27. That does not mean that this is 27. So how much did we already use up of the 27? Well, from here to here is 8. So there's 8 gone. Come on, don't fail me now. There it is. From here to here is 7. So from here to here was 7. So how much have we used already? We've used 15. So how much would be left? 12. I've now broken this big nasty shape into 3 very usable shapes, all with convenient measurements. Now let's put it together. Because this all does form one big shape, when I find my 3 areas, I have to add them together. So I'm going to take the area of the triangle is 1/2 base times height. That's my first shape right there. My second shape, I have to add is just length times width. I add that to my third shape, which again is length times width. That's the setup that helps me find out the total square feet that are involved in my actual shape. Multiplication comes first, so we get 120 plus 140 plus 120. All of them added together is 380. Now remember, that's the area of our shape. You may be thinking, yeah, they didn't ask that. I know. But you need this in order to answer what it does ask. So now let's revisit the problem. How many gallons of gas will we need? Go back. 1 gallon covers 120 feet. So how many gallons are needed for 380? We'll have to divide this by 120. And that's how we're going to get our answer for part A. So lastly, I take 380 and I divide it by 120 because that was our unit rate. We arrive at 3.16 repeating. Careful, they gave us a weird one to round to. There was a lot in here. You had to stay locked in for quite a while. Nearest thousandth, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So I need to look at the 10,000th place to decide where to round. 5 or higher rounds up. Is that 5 or higher? Yes. So this becomes 3.167. And that is our answer. 3.167 gallons. Don't forget your units. That's how many gallons we're going to need in order to mow Monica's lawn. Okay? Took a while. Got to break it up into the shapes, identify units, find individual areas and add them together, and then divide that by our unit rate to determine the total number of gallons. Tough one. Oh, and by the way, we're not done. Let's go. Now, the beginning of part B was a little easier. And then it had a conceptual piece to it. Okay? Come on. Come on down. Come on down. Monica wants to finish fencing along all the way around her property. Did you notice that there was a fencing on the back part of the property? I already just stated it. She already has fencing along her back property. Now, here's where we get to the actual money part. If fencing companies only sell fencing in 5-foot segments, that's important, only can buy 5-foot segments, and each of those costs $12.50. How much will it cost Monica to finish fencing around her property line? Write your answer as a sentence. This is big because I've always taught in my classes, if I give you a word problem, I should get a word answer, right? You need to be able to explain to me what your answer actually means, and that's what we're going to ask at the end of this. So the first part is pretty easy. We gave you pretty much all the measurements all the way around the fence. So essentially, part 1, I have to find out how many feet of fence I need. So I take 7, give me the colors. Looking at my fencing line, I need 7 plus 5 plus 8 plus 15 plus 27. And this gives me 62 feet. That part was pretty easy. 62 feet. They only buy them in 5-foot segments though. Careful here. So most people are like, okay, I got it. 62 divided by 5 gives me an answer of 12.4. All right, this is where you have to understand something that's very frustrating in consumers. You ever go to get hot dogs? Usually they're in packs of what? 6? Then you go to buy buns and you get 8? Why? Why does that happen? Why can't we have the perfect amount of what we need with the perfect amount of what we need so that you'll have to buy more? Take a look. You need 12.4 packages. Can you buy 0.4 packages? No. They're going to look at you and go, you have to buy the whole next package. So how many packages do we need in order to fence the entire property line? 13. We need 13. You can't buy a smaller section of it. They only sell it in 5-foot segments. Now you may be thinking, we're going to have 3 feet left over. And you just got it's yours. Okay, have fun with it. But it doesn't change the fact that they're not going to break apart a package. You can only buy it in 5-foot segments. So when you have anything above a whole number, you got to buy a whole new package in order to fulfill that last little piece. The answer is not 13 though. It's not 13. You need to buy 13 packages. They asked how much is it going to cost, and then write it as a sentence. So if each package is $12.50, now I just multiply it by 1250. We arrive at our final answer of $162.50. Sentence, so here we go. It will cost Monica $162.50 to finish fencing her property. And that is how we would do part B. Easy beginning, add all the way around, divide by what you can buy them in, conceptual knowledge and real world application of, hey, got to buy the whole 13. What does it cost? Say it in a sentence. Hopefully this was helpful. It was a challenging week. Keep learning, keep striving. We'll see you next week.